Good morning students. Today I am going to explain chapter 1 of chemistry in class 10. Now the topic that I select to explain is characteristics of chemical reaction. This is the first topic of the chapter number 1. Now their characteristics means all those properties we have to study which shows that chemical reaction takes place. Now let us see what are those characteristics. Number 1, evolution of a gas. Okay, evolution of a gas means as when two or more substances combine together, they react and form a product. At the same time, some of the gases, they are evolving out. So here we consider one example, that is zinc, which is solid in state. When these zinc react with sulfuric acid is in the aqueous state. It is in aqueous state and this substance is in solid state. When chemical reaction takes place between these two, it results in the formation of zinc sulfate plus evolution of hydrogen gas. Children, in 9th class you might have studied how to make the formula. So as I say that zinc combined with sulfuric acid forms zinc sulfate, you should know how this formula of zinc sulfate will be formed. Okay children, this I will guide you after explaining the characteristics. During exam, the question may come that give one example to show evolution of a gas, or the question may come write one or two characteristics of a chemical reactions. So if the question is write the characteristics of a chemical reaction, you can write point number 1, evolution of a gas, and you explain with the help of one reaction. So children, here I am not explaining in detail because the theoretical part you understand. So whenever you explain evolution of gas, you always consider one example. This example is very important. And when you perform the practicals in the chemistry lab, this chemical reaction you will perform in chemistry lab. So this is very important reaction. Next video or in some other video I will explain how the formation of the chemical compound takes place. For that you should know the different valencies that you have to learn. I will send you the chart of the valencies that you have to learn. Now let us come to the second characteristics. The second characteristics is that formation of a precipitate. What is the meaning of precipitate? Precipitate means when in a container I add two different substances, they will react. It is also in aqueous state, it is also in aqueous state. After chemical reaction, a solid substance will deposit it at the bottom of the container and liquid part will remain at the top of the container. The solid which deposited at the bottom is considered as the precipitate. So let us see here what is the chemical reaction, which chemical reaction explain the formation of precipitate. Here we take the one of the reactant, that is Ki. What Ki represent? Potassium iodide. This potassium iodide, they are available in solid form. As you have seen, like sodium chloride, common salt which is available at home, they are in a solid state. When you dissolve this compound in water, it will become aqueous solution. So when potassium iodide dissolve in water, it becomes aqueous solution. Similarly, when potassium nitrate dissolve in water, it becomes lead nitrate. Sorry children, it is lead nitrate. Pb means lead, NO3 means nitrate, lead nitrate. How this formula becomes, why we use this bracket, that I will explain you how to make the formula afterwards. First let us focus the main part. When these two reactant combine together, a product will be produced. Now how you will decide what will be the product? Children, you know what is the chemical reaction? Breaking of the old bond and formation of the new bond. The bond between Ki, it will break down. The bond between lead and nitrate, it will break down. And what happened? This lead will combine with this. Another example I can explain children, that every compound has its positive part and negative part. For example, in potassium iodide, this K it represent positive part because potassium is a metal and it will donate electrons, so it will represented by positive charge. And this is a non-metal, it will take the electron which is donated by potassium. So here I represent with the negative charge. Okay, that means in this compound, potassium is the positive part, I is the negative part. Similarly, if you come to this compound, Pb represent the positive part and NO3, it represent the negative part. So what is chemical reaction? Breakdown of the older bond, formation of the new bond. The positive part of this compound will combine with the negative part of this compound. compound. So this potassium will combine with the nitrate and it result in the formation of lead nitrate, that is the potassium nitrate, and this Pb is the lead. This Pb combined with this positive part of this compound combined with the negative part of this compound, and it will result in the formation of lead iodide. So always whenever compound will be formed, the positive part, that means which represent the metal, that element will be written first, and then that non-metal or the element which take the electron. Similarly, if you see here in this case, K is the metal and NO3 is the non-metallic part. So metallic part, non-metallic part, positive part or negative part. Here also positive part or negative part. In this way, formation of compound will take place. As it is a formation of precipitate, that means out of these two new compound, potassium nitrate is a liquid part, so it will remain at the top of the container, and lead iodide, it is the positive part, it will settle down after the reaction. So as it is heavier, it will settle down, and this solid part is considered as the precipitate. So this is a very, very, very important reaction. Maximum times during the board exam, this reaction question may come related to this question. Sometimes chemical reaction, and sometimes if the reaction takes place between these two compounds, then what is the name of the precipitate? So you should know the name of the precipitate is lead iodide, which is yellow in color. This is the precipitate lead iodide, and what is its color? It is yellow in color. I hope it is clear to you. Now children, the topic that we are studying is characteristics of a chemical reaction. What was the first characteristic? Evolution of a gas. What is the second characteristic? Formation of a precipitate. Now let us move to the third characteristic. The third characteristic is change in temperature. Okay children, now change means temperature may increase after the reaction or temperature may decrease after the reaction. So again, let us see here, when two chemical compound combine together, it will result in the formation of a new compound, okay, or new product will be produced, and maybe the reaction will evolve. Okay, after the reaction, the heat will be evolved. So let us consider here the two substances. One is calcium oxide. Calcium oxide is also known as quicklime. Common name of calcium oxide is quicklime. Okay, or we can say the chemical name of quicklime is calcium oxide. It is also solid state. It exists in the form of a powder in the lab, and then this compound react with the next compound, that is water. In water nothing is dissolved, so I represent water with letter L. L represent liquid. Liquid means now nothing dissolved in it. If anything dissolved in water, then we are using the word aqueous. But now nothing dissolved in water, I am using letter L. L means liquid. When I add quicklime in the water, chemical reaction will take place, and it will result in the formation of the product calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is also known as slaked lime. This is the formula. Again, formation of formula I will guide you afterwards. And after this reaction, what we will find, a large amount of heat will evolve out. How you come to know children? When you take a beaker, you take here calcium oxide, then you will add water. Okay, now when you take calcium oxide and you touch the beaker, you feel it normal temperature, and when soon as you add water, chemical reaction takes place and large number of bubbles will evolve out, and when you touch the container, you will feel the container becomes hot. So what it represents? Large amount of heat will produce after the reaction. So those chemical reaction in which heat will produced after the reaction, those reactions are considered as exothermic reaction. Here I am using the word heat is produced. The technical term mostly that we are using, the heat is evolved after the reaction, then those reaction is considered as exothermic reaction. After completing the explanation of characteristics of chemical reaction, there is one more topic where we will study in detail about the exothermic reaction. Here just I am explaining you the characteristic, only this much I am explaining about the exothermic reaction. Now let us study another reaction in which heat will be absorbed. Okay, in this reaction heat is written in the product side because heat is produced after the reaction. Another reaction we will study where the heat will be returned to the reactant side. That means the two compounds will react when you give the heat. If you do not give heat, reaction will not take place. Now let us consider the next reaction here. Can you see here I am taking one substance. It is written N2. N2 means nitrogen plus O2. O2 means oxygen. These both are in the gaseous state. Now when suppose I take this in one container, this oxygen I take in another container. When I transfer one substance into another substance, okay, and then I will give heat. So when I will give heat, the chemical reaction takes place between two, and it results in the formation of a compound that is called nitrogen monoxide. It is also known as nitric oxide. So now you are in 10th class, you are not having too much knowledge regarding the compounds. You can simply use nitrogen monoxide, or you can also say nitrogen oxide. Here the reaction is in balanced condition. It is written in balanced condition, and the product, it is also in gaseous state. So children, here you can see the heat is written to which side of the reaction? To the reactant side. So all those chemical reaction where heat is written to the reactant side, they are considered as endothermic reaction. Or when I want to give the definition of endothermic reaction, what I should say? Those reaction in which heat is absorbed, okay, to form the product, those reactions are considered as endothermic reaction. Afterwards we will study in detail about the endothermic reaction, because we are studying now the characteristics, so this much is sufficient. Now let us move to the next characteristics, that is change in color. Now change in color, that means in the reactant the substances having different color, and when they react and form some compound, the color of the compound will be different. When we consider the example in this characteristics, chemical formula is not important. Why children? These compounds having complex chemical formula, only you should know the name of the compound. Here I take one example, that is potassium permanganate. Chemical formula is KMnO4. In 10th class, if you don't know the formula of potassium permanganate, no problem, but you should know the name and the color of this compound. Color is the purple color. Now the second reactant is citric acid. Formula of citric acid is complex, so for 10th class students it is not required you should know the formula, but you should know the name of the compound. So potassium permanganate, which is purple in color, when react with citric acid is transparent, it has no color. When chemical reaction takes place, then what it was observed, the purple color of the potassium permanganate disappear. So what you have seen, that before the reaction the color of one of the reactant is different, and after the reaction color of the product is different. So here what is the name of the product is not important in this characteristics. What is important, this chemical is very important, and the color of this chemical compound is also very important. So what we have seen, the color of KMnO4 disappear, or you can say purple color of KMnO4 disappear. I hope you understand this chemical reaction. Now let us move to the last characteristics of the chemical reaction, that is change in state. This is very simple. You already know that water exists in three states: solid, liquid and gas. In every case the formula water becomes H2O only. Okay, so now let us consider that water is in solid state, that is it is in form of ice. When you give heat, okay, the particles of solid move far away to each other, then it will changes into liquid. So formula of ice is H2O, there is no change in formula. Formula of water is also H2O, there is no change in the formula. Only the physical state changes. Physical state means if I consider solid, the particles are closely packed. Okay, if I consider liquid, the particles are loosely packed. And again when you give heat, then what happens children? The particles will move far away from each other. Okay, the liquid state changes into gaseous state. So this is the example of change in state. So in your syllabus, regarding change in state, the example of water is considered. You may also consider example of wax. Whatever chemical formula of wax is there, when you heat wax, it will melt. okay, but chemical formula remains same. So that is why melting of ice or melting of wax can be considered as the example of which characteristics, that is change in state. So either during exam the question will come, write down the characteristics of the chemical reaction, or the characteristics will be given to you, you have to write down the example. And also you have seen there are 5 characteristics. It is not compulsory all the 5 characteristics must be asked in one question. If it is 3 marks, 3 characteristics will come. If it is 5 marks question, then all the 5 characteristics may ask. So I hope you understand this topic. Thank you.